welcome to the MVP Sports Podcast. Man, this is your host, Marlo Smith, the host of my old show, All the Way Live Sports, man. I had a lot of Nebraska Cornhuskers followers on there. So if y'all come across this channel, the MVP Sports Podcast, make sure y'all subscribe, like, and share this channel. Your boy gonna double up on them in 2024. Let's continue to get into it. And this episode, we're gonna talk about can the Nebraska Cornhuskers make noise in the new Big Ten Conference. And let me tell you something. Cornhusker fans should be excited about the excitement that's brewing around their program. I think it's going to be an excellent year for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. We haven't seen them boys really getting to it like most Cornhusker fans know how the boys used to do back in the days when they were running that football, running that option, and they were just ripping through college football. Nobody can do a god doggone thing with Nebraska. So let's hope they get back to that, but in a different way, a different attacking style of offense, because we won't see no option no more in football. Only a few teams running, but Nebraska has a new look, and man, I'm excited to see what these boys are going to do in this upcoming football season. But can they make noise in the new Big Ten? Let's get into it. Second-year head coach Matt Rhule led the Cornhuskers to a 3-6 record, 3-6 conference record, and a 5-7 overall record in the Big Ten in 2023. You can expect that. Got to get a feel for this program. The guy had to do what he had to do with the players that were already on the roster. Had a few transfers. Jeff Sims, quarterback, didn't work out at all. And he's out of there again. But make no mistake, Matt Rhule is the guy for the job at the University of Nebraska. But the Cornhuskers, they had at least 5 games that could have turned their season completely around, losing close games to Minnesota, Michigan State, Maryland, Wisconsin, Iowa, and those games were close. So that 5-7 could have easily been 10 wins. Think about what I just said. They lost close games to Minnesota Golden Gophers, Michigan State, Maryland, Wisconsin, and Iowa. They could have did something real special if they could have pulled out those football games. This could have been a different take on the season. And man, to be honest with you, Nebraska offense was terrible. They were terrible last season. They didn't have a great quarterback. They didn't have nobody could play. No quarterback play at all from the first, second, third string. I mean, it was just terrible all the way around for their quarterbacks. It didn't matter. They couldn't get nothing done. They had 3 quarterbacks on that roster throw for a total of 1,600 yards. A little over 1,600. I think it was 1,631, somewhere in there. They completed 136 passes, 10 touchdowns, and 16 interceptions. More interceptions than touchdowns. From 3 quarterbacks. 3. So we didn't worry about that this season. I'm an Alabama fan, but I'm excited to see what the young boy gonna do for the Cornhuskers this season when the season open up. Man, I'm gonna be right there watching them boys when they strap on them pads and they get ready to get out there and get to it. That big red machine crowd gonna be crazy week 1, I'm telling you. But the passing game was terrible all around as they struggled in year 1 under offensive coordinator Marcus Satterfield. Nebraska offense averaged 17.5 points a game. They only scored a total of 210 points, for God's sakes. 210 points. They struggled all around. They really did. To be honest, the Cornhuskers didn't have any dynamic playmakers on the offensive side of the ball at all that could put any field and any opposing defensive coordinator when they got on that football field. Nobody cared about the pass. Nobody cared about the run. Nobody cared about nothing. They just had to go out there and play. But them boys couldn't stop a Pop Warner team, for crying out loud. Or could score. Well, they could stop a Pop Warner team. Because the defense, I'm going to give the defense credit. But the offense couldn't score on the Pop Warner team. That's how bad the offense was, for crying out loud. Now, the defense, I ain't mean that on the defensive side of the ball. Because y'all boys had hard. Y'all boy wore out. That's what it was. Them games y'all got smoked. Y'all boys got wore out because y'all couldn't stop nobody. The offense couldn't score. Y'all was on the field far too much. But that defensive unit, they gave everything they can give out there for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. But like I say, under defensive coordinator Tony White, they fought hard. They gave it all they had. Some games they was in it. That Colorado game, they fought. That game could have got ugly real quick. But their defense stayed. They made plays. They got turnovers. They kept giving the ball back to Nebraska offense, and all they did was punt and turnover. That was it. Couldn't do nothing out there. Short drives being stalled, nothing. Defense back on the field. But they couldn't sustain drives on the offensive side of the ball to give themselves a chance on the offensive side of the ball. It was just terrible. No wide receiver doing nothing going on. But Nebraska defensive unit ranked 13th out of 133 teams, giving up 18.2 points a game. Now that's the plus. They were ranked number 13 in defense. That's saying a lot. Their defense was playing their butt off. But you can't expect them to play like that all the time and nobody else is out here getting it done. But anyway, year 2 can be special for Nebraska and head coach Matt Rhule. And it all starts with winning the recruiting battle and landing impact players as they did with 5-star quarterback Dylan Raiola. I love this kid, man. He's a very, very talented quarterback, was committed to, I think, Ohio State at one time. Then you had Dylan Raiola committed to Georgia. Then last minute, he jumped ship because the boy actually moved to Georgia. He actually moved to an area I'm familiar with, Beaufort, Georgia. Talented football program with a lot of skilled, talented players out there. And he ended up committed to Nebraska, and that's understandable. Everybody should understand why he did it. Even though some people were upset about it. But if you really follow Nebraska football, you know who played for Nebraska. That's kin to this guy. But he's an impact player, and Matt Rhule needed this victory. He needed this victory in order to get these boys where he needed to be. But Dylan Raiola is definitely going to pump juice back into the Nebraska football program this season. The former 5-star had a stellar high school career, throwing for over 8,400 yards, 88 touchdowns, 11 interceptions on 566 completions. That's crazy. Standing at 6'3", 220 pounds, he's already college ready, man. The boy looked like he already been in the college program for 2 years. Big physical quarterback with a strong arm, can get the job done. But Dylan Raiola has the physical tools to be a starter for the Cornhuskers in week 1 when they step on the football field against UTEP Miners in their first game. So a lot of people, I don't care who it could be UTEP. I want to see him go out there and just put up a whole bunch of yards and grind it out on these guys and do his thing. That's all I want to see. Because you need games like that to get your confidence up so you can go out there and really put something together. And that's what you want. So you want to have a couple cupcake games to get warmed up. So when he get to the real tough game, the kid is ready to go out there and smoke people. He'll have that confidence under his wing and can go out there and perform. But Raiola is a legacy recruit for the Cornhuskers, man. And the Big Red Nation is going to be totally behind this kid. And they deserve this new energy that is going around in Lincoln, Nebraska, because they've been down for so long. Nebraska has some of the most faithful football fans in college football. This team can stink bad, and they will still show up and show out and pack the house. That's crazy. That's how loyal they are to the football program. Imagine if Nebraska was to turn this thing around this season. Can you imagine when visiting teams come to the Big Red football field, to Nebraska home stadium, and have to get out there and that crowd is rocking? Man, they can take anybody down. Any given Saturday, they can take anybody down. That Lincoln, Nebraska, and that university, they need a winning program. And I think they can turn this thing around this upcoming season. But during the spring game, Raiola had, he passed for, I think it was 240, 239, somewhere in there. passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception in that contest. And Satterfield had some weapons on the offensive side via transfer portal to help out and to help they skill freshman quarterback out. Let's get into it, man. Look, Isaiah Neal. If y'all don't know him, go back and watch the kid highlights. He played at Wyoming at first, transferred to Texas Longhorns, but this kid was a super, super talented football player. He still is. Those injuries are fine, which he just he fell behind the 8 ball at Texas and just couldn't get on the football field. But this kid is super talented, man, and he's going to make big plays for Nebraska and Dylan Raiola when they step on the football field together. But the Texas Longhorn depth chart was just full, and he got buried on it, to be honest. But when healthy, he can really be a special football player for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. But for his college football career, Isaiah Neal has over 1,100 receiving yards, 53 receptions, and 12 touchdowns. Isaiah Neal is a huge target at 6'3", 215 pounds, and he can get deep down the football field for explosive plays. He can catch a short pass and get deep on your outrun defenders. The guy's a special talent. So they need to use him this upcoming season. Get that man going early. And if I was Dylan Raiola, I'd build a relationship with this kid early, often during the summer. We'll be out there catching passes. But he's, like I said, he's a huge target, though, man. And the guy's talented. And you also have a transfer from Wake Forest, Jamal Banks, who stands at 6'4", 205 pounds, another huge target, just like Isaiah Neal, who's going to be out there catching passes from Dylan Raiola. And over Banks' career at Wake Forest, he recorded over 1,400 yards, 107 receptions, 13 touchdowns. Watch out for this freshman, Davon Hall. Over his high school career, I tell you, Matt Rhule know what he's doing. But over Davon Hall high school career, he racked up a total of 111 receptions, 1,600 yards, and 21 touchdowns. Very, very talented freshman guy who should see the field, because they need to put everybody out there on the field that can help this young guy get it going. But you got also transfer Oregon running back Dante Dardell, that's his name, Dante Dardell. He should be unleashed this season in a big way for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Don't waste these kids' talent, man. Get them on the field. Dante Dardell is a former 4-star recruit out of Mississippi, where he recorded over 5,300 rushing yards. Go check out his highlights. Dardell is a talented guy, and he should definitely see the field for Nebraska in this upcoming season. But ran for over 5,300 rushing yards on 662 carries. You can see he can tote the rock. 65 touchdowns at 6'2", 215 pounds. Nebraska got some specimens on the offensive side of the ball. They have the guys out there already in place to help this young kid, to grow with this young kid at quarterback. So get these boys on the field. But Dante Dardell, he should really see a ton of action this season. Run that football so you don't have to put Dylan in no bad situation trying to go out there and gun it 40 and 50 times a game. And I know Matt Rhule is not going to do that. Satterfield, offensive coordinator Satterfield, they're going to run that. They want to run that ball. You want to set the tone running, especially in the Big Ten. With a lot of high-flying offenses, you want to make sure you give your defense a break as well. But Nebraska, like I said, they got the guys, and they definitely want to make sure that Dylan Raiola reaches full potential. But on the defensive side of the ball, defensive coordinator Tony White unit should still be productive and ready to stand their ground against the top-notch offenses in the new Big Ten in this upcoming season. Tony White has stellar athletes to work with. And we're going to start with defensive end Ty Robinson. I know he transferred over a year ago, Elijah Judy. You got Jamari Butler, Nash Hutmacher. He's an excellent wrestler for the Nebraska wrestling team. He's a physical guy. You got linebacker MJ Sherman, who used to play for the Georgia Bulldogs, but he's been at Nebraska. I think this is his second season. You got Javin Wright, John Bullock, Stephen Thompson. Let's not forget about true freshman linebacker Vincent Shavers from Miami Central High School in Florida. Shavers definitely will see the football field this upcoming season because Nebraska need to get fast and they need to get their best athletes on the field in 2024 because when you see people like Oregon, Ohio State, and everybody want to throw the football all around the yard. Wisconsin, you can expect them to be better throwing the football than they new scheme they brought in last season. So you got to have athletes on the field on the defensive side of the ball. I don't care how you put them in there, sub package or whatever, but you got to put your best athletes on the football field. That's how you're gonna win. But patrolling the secondary for the Cornhuskers is transfer Bly Hill, who recorded 21 stops and 2 interceptions and 5 PBUs in 2023. You got talented freshman Mario Buford, who everybody was after. He will see the field early with his speed and athleticism. You cannot afford to not have this kid on the football field. Safety Isaac Gifford, he's a talented guy who recorded 86 stops, 1 interception, and 8 PBUs in 2023. And watch out for cornerback Tommy Hill. This kid is going to be special. If the Cornhuskers can stay healthy going into the 2024 football season, I truly believe that they can win more than 5 games. They can win more than 5 games. Matt Rhule is the right guy, and he will get this thing turned around in year 2. And the Big Ten better get ready for the new and improved Big Red machine because this man is going to recruit well at Nebraska. He will use that portal, but he has a quarterback for at least 3 years. And I'm pretty sure he's saying hopefully 4. But we know they got him for at least 3 years. And Dylan Raiola, they will put the players around this young man, and Nebraska will become a force in the Big Ten. They will make some noise this season because they are a talented football team that has some key pieces. I don't see Matt Rhule winning less than 5 games. He will win more in this upcoming season. Make sure y'all subscribe, like, and share this channel. Subscribe, like, and share this channel. And thank y'all for joining the MVP Sports Podcast. God is an awesome God, and I love you guys. Thank y'all. Till we meet again, and I'm out.